Well, yeah, I think it's total bullshit if you just like are just rebroadcasting somebody else's content and you're not even present to even talk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I think that's bullshit. Yeah.
Like, it's
Even if we look at like the Mr. Girl video that Tom did, which granted, Tom doesn't write his videos. He doesn't research his shit. It's all paid for and done for by someone else. But like the Mr. Girl video is basically just a pro Destiny anti Mr. Girl video. And like he actually lies in a ton of it to make Mr. Girl look worse. Right. And then obviously the Destiny video and stuff. I don't think Tom swept in the traditional sense where we think of sweeping, where someone like tries to like actively hide something or lie to get away from it. But Tom definitely ignored a lot of the fucked shit. If I make a hit piece on someone, they should be able to respond. If someone makes a hit piece on me, I should be able to respond. All of that. I'd join this if I wasn't banned, but unfortunately, I was incredibly racist to one of JStock's server members. So
I know stuff. He says something like, "We've got differences in tactics. I don't think all the stuff he does is good." This sort of stuff. That's usually how he handles it. I don't think he just totally ignores it.
Well, even still to that point, it's like he doesn't admit that like he's playing the video because it's like this is the craziest fucking guy that really will piss Ethan off. He always like is like, oh, this guy's fine, or well, I don't know if he says that, but it's kind of like
it's just because it's the craziest
just jump
guy
it. No,
piss Ethan off.
I don't. You don't understand. I can't. I was banned. I can't join. I was banned for being racist. I would join if I could. I was banned because I was being incredibly racist in general chat. I literally cannot join. I'm banned from the Discord. Okay?
And some of them are better. The only time that the stuff that he sources.
Thank you, Jenny, for the 50 sec little pair character, little birthday pair.
Yeah, clip existed. That sort of thing.
Well, it's like, again, to the Nick Fuentes comparison, like Nick Fuentes like probably has a lot of good information in the Middle East, but like he obviously has like a bent or like an agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like the same thing where it's like he might have like good information or like knowledge on the topic, but he clearly has like a very like devious bent to it. I will say the only Bad Up and Out videos I've ever watched is like his Xander Hall videos. Because Xander Hall is just so funny to me.
The Cameron F305 video went hard when he's calling him a pedophile the whole time.
He made a video on Cameron?
Yeah.
Dude, I need to watch that. That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like I watched also his video on like the Billy Mitchell drama and stuff, which is very funny to me that he was just covering that at all. But yeah. It was good shit.
JStock, did you skim through this article?
No, I've not skimmed through it. I was trying to get these avatars working. For some reason, Augie's shit isn't working with my overlay. I have no idea why.
Wait, you have like a picture drawn for me?
Yeah, I've got a guy in my audience who runs this shit like really fast.
Wait, this is crazy. He drew this tonight?
Well, I mean, he uses like InPaint and like AI to make stuff, but yeah.
Oh shit!
Like, I just noticed I have one. It's so cute.
Dude, it looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, Augie. There's supposed to be a speaking face too. When you speak, it's supposed to switch to this. But here, hold on. I'll move you in and move you out, and maybe it'll.
Dude, this looks awesome though. I don't even.
Jeez, tough crowd.
Yo.
Let's see. Sorry, I moved you in, moved you out. See if that'll fix it.
Now it's stuck. Okay, cool. Why did Augie join?
Dude, this looks awesome.
How long has he been here for?
Like, totally cool if you ever want to talk offline or whatever.
It's very late.
Been here for like an hour?
But
I've heard
affect her ability to react to.
Why would we?
So because there, it's just on all fours with what I thought was a distinction. You said if you support state violence, it's different. You can't discriminate for people support ideological support for violence if it comes from
being radicalized. I need the anti-Ethan talking points. Ethan just lied about like all of his motivations for suing these people. He totally misrepresented what Denims is being sued for. Denims had like a substantial reaction to the content nuke, right? And she's still being sued for it, just because of her quote-unquote malice. And Ethan says he doesn't want to chill commentary or chill reaction content, right? He doesn't want to fuck with that at all. But in fact, his suing of Denims over a substantial reaction, over that video where she reacted, I think she took an hour and 50-minute video, turned it into 4 hours. Down to, oh, if you want to hop on, Augie. I'll see if.
So Augie says, I'm done to hop on for a minute if you aren't busy doing a segment. What did you join to talk about?
Yeah, if you want to hop on, it's all good. I'm covering this debate right now. Might be able to get some other people in too. You want to hop on? You ask questions if you want. All right, I'm gonna keep doing this until you do hop on though. I think I'm in the Collins channel. Yeah, I'm in the Collins channel.
Mistake.
Oh,
Yo,
hey,
what's
this is-
hold on.
Dude,
What's up? How's it going?
yo, what's going on, man? So I'm like,
Dude, it's so unlucky that I decided to be incredibly evil today. I could have gotten on this stream. Dude, this is karma. This is karma. So fucked up, man. So fucked up.
semi-retired from commentary, obviously, and so I don't keep up to date with this stuff like as minute by minute as I used to back in my prime. Let's just put it that way. But so as a result, I haven't seen Ethan Klein's newest video actually, but I've been hearing some like crazy things about the lawsuit. So I'm super confused, right? So Denim's reaction to the content nuke was 4 hours long, and the content nuke was like an hour and a half. So why
50,
is Ethan? Yeah. So she added like, at least over twice the amount of commentary, right? So why is Ethan suing her again?
So
Like,
so he is suing her for both that and for reacting to the stream before it, for watching the stream before it. And the stream before it, she gets up from her chair, walks away. She does not do meaningful commentary, right?
okay, so
So-
I heard she walked away for like a minute or something like that. Like
2 minutes. Yeah,
2 minutes. Okay, so is that what we're crying about? Like, like I don't
think-
understand.
Yeah, the thing that like upsets people who like Ethan is that she basically said, okay, we're going to stream this when it goes live. We're going to stream it right away. And
We learn from our
although it's not
mistakes,
used as
yeah.
Ethan's logic, I think the biggest reason to be upset is he ran the video, his content nuke as a premiere, and she streamed on Twitch over top of that premiere while people were directing, I think Hassan's community, the anti
Wait, why would it being
were pointing towards
Why
her.
would it being a premiere like affect her ability to react to it? Like, does she have to wait until it ends
Creating
to?
Well, it goes to, for the 4 pillars of fair use, creating a market replacement, right? So if she's streaming over
Of
top
course,
him,
Major Wendy's
people
in
who might be
chat.
watching it
Okay.
invested enough to watch. Like, this is the argument. I don't necessarily believe
yeah,
this
yeah,
all the way, but it's the argument.
I know. I'm sure you're not on his side on this, right? But I'm just like trying to understand like how he even thinks he has a basis for suing her, right? Like, so if you
That the Frogan one, despite her watching it, invested enough to...
if she was
The argument in general is probably that it's just straight up, like, I think if you're going to watch somebody's hour and 50-minute video, even over 4 hours, there's probably still an argument that that's not fair use, right? That could still be determined like copyright infringement. So I think that's
Yeah.
probably what he's banking on. But here's the thing, and the analogy
Do you
I
hate
use for
Major
this is,
Wendy?
like,
I don't
basically
hate
a whole-
Major Wendy. It's just like whenever there's anything legal, he always shows up. But like 90% of everything in commentary is like American drama. So a lot of what he says just like doesn't fucking matter. And he ends up just Googling the law like everybody else when there's like a drama that includes like legal stuff. I don't hate him. It's just like, I don't know. He doesn't really add anything. He tries to have a shtick, and to me, it just kind of falls flat. I do enjoy talking to him. I mean, he said some silly thing where he's like a lawyer, and he tries to look at law and morality through like Christianity or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, that's a little silly, I feel, but that's obviously my opinion. That's not like anything objective. I can say like he's bad for doing this. I'm just like, okay, well, I don't think you should, if you're a lawyer, I don't think you should be looking at morality through the eyes of God. You should be looking at, morality in a different lens, I feel. Because the law, the way law works, the law doesn't look at shit through the lens of like religion, right? What he says may not matter, but it's funny. He's not really funny. I don't know. No, he's like, I don't hate him. It's just kind of like, yeah, of course he's here. Of course he's in chat. Any stream that has anything to do with legal stuff, he's going to find his way to it. I just think it's funny, okay? I'm not beefing with Major Wendy. I think it's fine. I think he's fine. I just think it's funny that, yeah, of course he's in J-Stock's chat when J-Stock is looking at drama stuff. I'm going to turn off chat. The chat looks shit. I don't know if the chat's growing on me. I'm turning it off.
Whole bunch of people have been street racing, and Ethan Klein doesn't like how the street races are going anymore, and so he called the police. But like everybody was engaging in this exact kind of content, right? Where they'd watch long videos, they'd react, and as long as it wasn't disrespectful, you weren't getting up and walking away, that was considered like transformative. Most people wouldn't fuck with you, right?
Well, yeah, I think it's total bullshit if you just like are just rebroadcasting somebody else's content and you're not even present to even talk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I think
bullshit.
that's bullshit. Yeah.
Like it's dog shit content is like a content creator at bare minimum, right? Without even getting into the law. Yeah.
Yeah, but if he got mad, he's like, okay, you're literally just like rebroadcasting my content while not even being there to talk over it, only for the sole purpose of just, you know, people not watching my version of it. Yeah, fuck you. But if she's there giving commentary, I don't care how dog shit her commentary is or how stupid she is. Like, that doesn't really matter to me. If she's there, she's transforming it. You know, she might be transforming it into something worse.
Breaking news: racist furry hates religious lawyer. Basically, that's the TLDR. Yeah.
It's like you can get into like, oh, well, were Denham's contributions really like worth listening to? That's a totally separate argument. But if she was there, then why the fuck are we crying about this? Like, who cares? But
Well,
you're saying
it's-
that he had a better argument for Froken and Casey Tron? Is that?
So I've heard from people who looked into the Frogan one that the Frogan one, despite her getting up, she does get up and walk away at some point and lets her light chair react for a little bit. I've heard that her reaction was fairly substantial as well. For Casey Tron, I'm pretty sure Casey Tron just straight up watch partied it. Casey Tron doesn't really
Damn.
talk for any of her content, so or not a lot of it.
Well, yeah, she's too stoned for that shit. She's not even like in the room. She's not even present for her.
Is
own
Aiden gonna
content.
say
Even if she's
anything?
there, it might as well be a chair react because she's so stoned that she's not even really present in the same room. So maybe for that case, it's true. I don't know.
I believe that is something along the lines of the argument she might make. So,
Well, I know
Hey,
like in
I was super
the
fucked up.
actual like document, which again I haven't read, he does make a reference to her weed usage. Like he's like she's
Yeah,
too
he does.
stoned, which is crazy to me. I don't know. It's very funny to like laugh at like the ridiculousness of this lawsuit, but actually supporting it is like a completely different thing to me. I don't know. I can't support any of this shit. I feel like the problem is that it's gonna set like a legal precedent. Well, okay, I have two problems with this. One, I feel like it's gonna set a legal precedent, and now us as content creators who react to shit all day long in live streams are gonna have to be extra super hyper careful that even though we're giving fair use commentary, we have to like spend extra amounts of time making it super.
we've watched the content. That's not.
Here's the thing. It is. I will admit. It is.
All right, let's
more-
just go to live. I guess we kind of get the gist of this. Are they saying anything interesting now?
Basically said,
He just laughed.
he said, I don't care that this happened because Queeman said he wants to stomp Yeet into the dirt, which is obviously me talking like, we got to destroy this guy. It's not me saying, I want to go to Yeet's house and shoot him in the head.
Oh wait, is he grooming Augie to
Obviously
hate
not why I'm
Willie?
saying that.
Please,
Yeah.
So
please,
just drew a false equivalency and then said,
He-
well, so I don't care.
please,
So
yes.
it's like, okay, you'll just swing.
God, I
He
hate
said-
Willie Mack.
I should care. I think the direct quote was something like, I should care about this, but I find these guys really annoying, or some shit like that. He's like, these guys are so annoying that I don't really care that Destiny threatened them, that he wished for their death.
That to me, that like first impression that comes off as like honest though. It's like, you know, he feels he's like, I should be against this, but I
It would be
fuck, I hate these
it would be
guys.
fine if it's just that,
Don't
but
get
I've been
mad
drawing
about
the false
skulls.
equivalency and pretending that. Yeah, also, dude, yeah, literally just draw it to
Get
any
mad
of the
about
Facebook
skulls. You
videos.
get pissed at us. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, okay, I heard you guys say sweeping. This is like a different discussion. Do you guys think like Turkey Tom swept for Destiny?
Whoa,
Because
okay.
I've heard this before and I've never understood this argument because I always felt like Tom like distanced himself like before like the shit came out. But
No, 100%. He swept for Destiny. Just like go watch his like Destiny documentary. It's like the most.
like the IRL video he made.
Yeah. Like he does.
This is good.
They're like so. I mean, I don't know how associated you ever were with Destiny. It seems like Nick and Tom at least compromised serious positions to hang out with this guy. I don't feel like it would be cool by Nick and Tom's usual standards that they would lay out in like videos. And
Tom
live streams.
100% swept.
be hanging out
He
with someone
ignored a lot of what
who
Destiny did that was
knowingly,
public.
At the age of like 26, messaged a 15-year-old girl, got photos from her, said about how it was so hard to say no. I talked about how massive her tits were and sent the photos around in his group chat talking about, you know, what wanted to fuck her basically. I don't
Yeah, I
think by
remember
the
that
usual
situation.
standards,
I knew about that situation because I used to watch the Kumite back in the
possible to
day.
check, yeah.
Yeah, that was on the Kumite. I used to watch that show. And did he know the girl's age? Or
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
he knew?
He doubled down on it in
Yep.
multiple conversations after.
Well, I
as
remember
well.
like after the DMs, at some point he learned her age, and then like after.
No, 100% at the time of conversation.
At the time of conversation, okay, because I remember at some point
mean,
he figured
like-
the age, and then he was like, he missed a message where he was like,
Even if we look at like the Mr. Girl video that Tom did, which granted, Tom doesn't write his videos, he doesn't research his shit. It's all paid for and done for by someone else. But like the Mr. Girl video is basically just a pro Destiny anti Mr. Girl video, and like he actually lies in a ton of it to make Mr. Girl look worse, right? And then obviously the Destiny video and stuff. I don't think Tom swept in the traditional sense where we think of sweeping, where someone like tries to like actively hide something or lie to get away from it. But Tom definitely ignored a lot of the fucked shit that the Destiny was doing. And I remember one of the streams he was doing when Destiny started, it started becoming popular to like hate Destiny and commentary. One of the streams he did, he just started pulling up a bunch of Destiny clips. Where Destiny was like, dude, I was on this site and I saw this little kid's dick or whatever. And like, he just started pulling up these clips of Destiny. He's like, dude, that's crazy. I've never seen this before. That's crazy. And it's like, okay, you know, like, yeah, he definitely swept by ignoring a lot of the issues that he at least pretends to or acts like he could have these principles, but the principles that he claims to have, he ignored a lot of what Destiny was doing that he would normally be against, right? Which I would define as like a type of sweeping. Not sweeping in the traditional sense where he was like lying in order to defend Destiny. Nothing like that, but he was 1000% you know, ignoring a lot of the shit, I think. Which to me, I don't really care. I think when everybody like, dude, like, I don't think it matters that much. Just like answering the question, yes, he did sweep, but like past that, does that mean anything? Does that do anything? Not really. No. Tom isn't really a community guy anymore. He kind of just makes his videos and that's it. I think the sweeping matters a lot more for someone like Nicholas DeOrio, where he's actively, you know, espousing values that he doesn't really stand by. In my opinion, obviously, right? So when we have someone like Nick, who is a community guy, who is trying to like showcase his principles and values and morals and whatever, and then we can look back and it's like, okay, well, do you really believe these? Because, you know, you kind of swept for Destiny and stuff like that. I think it matters a lot more for someone like Nick, rather than someone like Tom, in my opinion.
On the Kumite, I used to watch that show, and did he know the girl's age? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
you know?
He doubled down on it
Yep.
in multiple conversations.
Well, I remember
after
like after the DM, at some point he learned her age, and then like after.
No, 100% at the time of conversation.
At the time of conversation, okay, because I remember at some point he figured the age, and then he was like, he missed a message where he was like, "Fuck," like it's so hard to like say no sometimes, but
Yeah, that was the point. Is he's saying like, shit, but she was 15, dude. It was so hard to say no. That's his quote when he's talking to his friends afterwards. So at some
Yeah.
point in that conversation, he knows she's 15. She wants to fuck, and yes, say no.
damn. And so yeah, I mean, yeah, that is hard to defend. The thing is, like, I remember like I watched that back at the time, but then like, I don't know, I guess I just didn't care because Destiny was making good content at the time, so it's like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah, so it's
Right.
one thing to watch the guy, but when you're gonna make a video doing a documentary on him, and it's like you're just like sucking the guy's
And you
dick
don't
all
like
the time.
ask him about that and like press him
Yeah,
super
well, I
hard.
mean, it's not even that. It's like Tom would take a strong, like, condemnation stance on that with other people, but there is not a condemnation where he's like, this guy's a piece of shit pedophile on Destiny. Nor is there for, you know, any of the politically radical speech that Destiny's engaged in that, you know, Nick now claims to have an issue with when it comes to Hassan. You know, Destiny's saying the firefighter stuff happened before any of them sort of cut off. There's accusing President Sunday and Donut Operator of being pedophiles with no evidence,
Yeah.
which hit minimal criticism. There was, fuck man, like threatening to kill the DDoS kid. There's the endless examples of.
I would
there's the-
it's actually pretty funny. My IRL friend wanted me to do a video on Mr. Girl before I ever knew who Mr. Girl was. Which is super funny. I don't know if I'll ever do a video on Mr. Girl because I feel like it's a topic that I actually do care about, and I don't feel like I could ever do it justice. So I don't think I'll ever do one. But I agree, a lot of the videos on Mr. Girl just kind of suck. Like some people in commentary that I know, actually, I almost messaged some of them who have made videos, and I was like, hey, like, kind of got a lot of shit wrong. But like realistically, most of commentary sees this guy as a pedophile, so like, would I randomly message someone when they think they've made a video on a pedophile and I'm like, dude, this guy is actually based. You know, when I have my whole situation, where, like, no, I'm probably not. But I do wish there was a good video on Mr. Girl. I haven't found one. I've watched like 3, I think. So maybe I obviously have not, you know, seen the entirety of the content that people have made about him. But from what I've seen, all kind of sucks. It's not really a good one.
Fact that in Tokyo Tom's video, he literally just totally skims over the Mr. Girl Destiny report and it says, "Oh well, everyone says there's nothing to this, so I don't really care about it." Basically, is the gist of what he says about it. When if he'd actually looked into it, he would have found out more information about, you know, how Destiny was essentially sexually abusive towards Anna and all the
Anna was
screen-
perfectly
all the
happy to
screenshots.
talk about that stuff, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
it's perfectly happy to talk about that and test that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's just a laundry list of things that were ignored that would usually set off like the bullshit alarms or the I would have a problem with this alarms to I think a lot of commentary creators that were just totally happy to hang out with him. Willie, Tom, Nick.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I know about some of that stuff. The firefighter, like give it that he threatened to kill or whatever. Or sorry, there's 2 situations. There's like one situation where like he threatened to kill the kid that was DDoSing him. I kind of sympathize with him on that take because I don't know.
Okay, but here's the thing. You realize like the solution to that was literally stop using Skype and use Ventrilo instead, right?
No, is Kick crashing? No! God, Kick sucks so fucking much, dude.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Lee tried not to
I
talk
tried
about
to
it.
do that
Yeah.
as well.
How many viewers does
Okay,
JSock
there's,
have?
sometimes-
Okay, 300.
Well, like sometimes there are things that are just so.
Do I feel bad about basically watch partying this? He has 300 viewers. Not really. No. If he had less, I'd feel a little more bad. But it's like fucking. It's like 5 a.m. I think it's fine. And he's been streaming for like 9 hours. I think it's chill.
Yeah, but no, I saw that shit. But yeah, I don't know. Like his take of like, oh, I don't give a fuck my parents for like just going to live on a Trump rally just because they support Trump. I'm like, 50% of the country supports Trump, you know? Like to me, that's a crazy position to hold. But I don't know. It's like you're cool with like 50% of the country just being gunned down just because they like Trump. Not even like, I don't even think like everyone that
Well, I
likes
think
Trump is like,
when it came down to his argument wasn't just if you're a passive Trump supporter, it's if you're going to rallies, like you're showing active support to Trump, then you're a fair target. But at that point, you are basically just saying like, what? Then like a Twitter post's okay? Like you go and hunt someone down for a pro-Trump Twitter post? Like what are we saying at this point?
Everything breaks down if you're gonna let people target each other for political speech.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like if well, that's an interesting distinction because like if you go to a pro-Trump rally, does that mean that you endorse like you're super? First of all, that you're super cognizant of every position.
We're gonna
that Trump
snipe
holds or
J-Stock for the
every
rest of the
position
stream.
You must
Dude,
hold
I'm
as a
gonna be
MAGA voter.
I went live to play that game with Rezi and he left. And I don't have any other friends to play with. So also, is there really anything going on? Probably not. I mean, we also only have like 40 viewers. Do I really want to do some like high effort coverage at like super late? Nobody's ever going to really see this. Parlo made a DA Games video. Well, DA Games is like admitted to them. This is not falsified. Attention-seeking YouTuber Parlo once again brings up debunked allegations and falsified evidence. Yeah, Parlo's not a predator. Who is this guy? Okay, mature content, classic. Yeah, I'm over 18. Okay, this person's retarded. Do you think that just because an image is blurred over and labeled with lolly, then it means it's lolly? It could have been posting about an OC or an anime. Okay, well, this is retarded. That's like saying like, okay, this is silly, obviously, right? generally speaking, when you censor something and you say what it is that's censored, the YouTuber has good grace and you believe the YouTuber. But obvious, like, yeah, if it's not lolly, then there should be evidence that it's not lolly. But if there's no evidence that it's not lolly, and DA Games hasn't come out and denied these allegations or whatever, then yeah, it's probably lolly. Right? This is such a retarded standard. It looks like this guy's just biased against Parlo, which Parlo's like a bit of a weird guy, but obviously he's not a predator as far as everything that I've seen. But like, yeah, obviously we can't determine what the image is when it's blurred with lolly, right? But we could watch Parlo's video, maybe not today, but I covered the Google document, which I'm guessing is just a lot of what Parlo has in his video. And yeah, the drama is basically he dated a minor and posted lolly in a server with minors in it. Like that's kind of the whole shtick. So it's like, yeah, I mean, what the fuck do you want? What is your standard of evidence, right? Like, what do you want in order to prove this? Because at this point, every video is just not going to have the right amount of evidence for you. What other comments have they been posting? Why is this account marked as 18+? The day Parlo gets a vasectomy is the day YouTube applauds. Okay, it's a pyrocynical viewer. They're an anti-fascist lesbian. What? This person's been posting, and it's a Hassan fan. Okay. This is an epic Reddit account. My take on DA Games, as far as it stands, is like, this happened like 10 or 12 years ago or something. Right? So it's like, yeah, he's guilty, but he's guilty of like posting lolly in a server 10 years ago. It's like, who really cares? Does this mean that he is a pedophile right now and is a danger to kids right now? Probably not. No. Right? So, yeah, I don't really care. I don't know why you would stick your neck out for DA Games when this all happened like 10 years ago. Just like say, yeah, he was weird. Kind of move on. It's not indicative of like pedophilia or anything.
Introduced any evidence of that in court, so
Yeah.
I would love to see any evidence of that potentially.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that be like proving a negative? Like how, like proving that he didn't send them or something? Or am I missing something here?
It wouldn't be proving that he didn't send
no.
them. It would give like plausible deniability, like another possible explanation for how she'd know about those videos. Because otherwise, she basically guessed 2 women that appeared in non-consensual audio or video with him, and she guessed these names before anybody could have known about them.
Okay.
And she didn't guess any non-names. She didn't guess like, oh, it's like this person or this person. She guessed like actual people who were in some of the leaks.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, why did she tell somebody that she was sent videos super recklessly by Destiny of people that she recognizes from the stream? And then those videos later came to actually, we found out they exist through another leak.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's probably going to go to Discovery, I think. I don't know if he'll win or lose. It'll depend on if they can find probably like real evidence of him having sent those videos again. And realistically, if he deleted them soon enough, that evidence might not exist anymore. So
Interesting. Okay.
he might get out of the Pixie lawsuit kind of scot-free. Other people have lawsuits. I don't know if those are ever going to move forward. I have no idea. A lot of people are just like, yeah, I don't want the harassment from this guy. I'd rather just move on.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's got like a really like high profile lawyer working with him too, right? Like,
Yeah, the guy who was the lawyer for Prince Andrew. Yeah, Andy B. Andrew Bretler.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he got the rape lawyer.
That's
guy who
crazy
makes it-
to me.
Yeah, the victim blamer. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's like it could. I really don't know how it would go, and I assume that if
I don't have a
if
lot to
it's
say
like
about
a
Destiny
toss-up,
stuff.
then
If they
that's
keep
gonna go to
talking
the
about
defendant,
Destiny
right?
stuff, I
So-
might click off.
So if any
Like,
like legal
I-
YouTuber has been covering,
Listen, I'm fine with stealing content, okay, but I do like JStock. And if I literally have fuck all to add, I might just, go look at something else. I might watch the Parlo video or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
I
it's
just don't wanna
like,
watch
it's gonna
this
take
if I
a little
literally
bit.
have
We'll get
nothing to
the
say.
legal in this, like what they call like a preliminary injunction soon. Legal
Mm-hmm.
Mindset did look at it before. I don't think he's looked at it recently. All of them looked at it like initially, and then I don't know if they've all looked at it recently. But
yeah,
stuff just is moving forward slowly because of this preliminary injunction hearing. So we just haven't seen. I think they're also battling each other in Discovery like a lot. Like they wanted Destiny's like Google Drive history for the past 5 years or something, and he's like fighting that. He said he'd rather kill himself than give that up, and I don't know.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's probably. I guess I can see why he would not want to show that. I don't know. I don't know if that's weird or not to like restrict showing that, but
I mean, he definitely wouldn't want it made public in any way, and
Yeah.
I think it would have to be like lawyers going through it and determining what could be relevant to the case.
right.
Yeah.
It's very late. I don't know if Marcus wants to play. Yeah, he's
I
EP.
only know
I
who
don't
that
think
guy
he's
is
going to
because
say yes
Ralph
to
did,
that.
like a really funny rant on him once.
Ladyboy mindset.
Ladyboy
Legal
mindset.
dick sucker, more like it. I don't know who that guy is.
What do you think of the Ethan lawsuit, Augie?
Which Ethan lawsuit?
The React lawsuits.
Oh, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, I can't support it. I don't know. I feel like you have to be like suicidal to support this, especially as like a React streamer.
Have you like actually looked into like
No, I haven't
Other
watched Ethan
dynamics.
Klein's video or read the lawsuit.
Alright,
I know Connor's looked into it. He told me a little bit about it, and based on what he told me or whatever, it sounded like complete bullshit. He's very like neutral. on, like-
I'm considering trying to do an Ethan hit piece. I don't really know what it would look like. And I know that would kind of be super unpopular because Ethan has a lot of supporters right now, especially with the Israel-Palestine conflict going on. He's kind of riding the wave on that, right? Fake Bobby in chat. Jesus. I don't know. I am really disappointed with Ethan. I'm not gonna act like I was ever like a big fan of this guy or anything like that, but I do know that he, the original lawsuit he did or dealt with for React content, like I do admire that, that he was willing to dig his heels in and kind of fuck himself a little bit for the sake of the greater good on YouTube. That's super admirable, I think, especially if you want to be a content creator, right? But yeah, a lot of his recent behavior is super, super saddening to see kind of what he's turned into. Again, I'm not gonna act like I was ever a big fan. I did not really watch the guy. I still don't know how to feel about the Ethan lawsuit. The lawsuit's justified, but it's bad. It's also not justified on everyone. Denims reacted fair use. She was completely fair in her use of that content. Other people, not so much. The issue with fair use is we are all breaking fair use law. Every time you react to a piece of content, you are breaking fair use law. But you should not litigate fair use law because fair use law has nothing to do with malice, right? So it does not matter your intentions with the content. Meaning, Ethan suing a bunch of people under fair use law, even when they're not malicious, or even when they are malicious, if he's only suing malicious people, which he's not, by the way, because XQC is very malicious about his reactions, and Ethan doesn't give a fuck. Asmongold is very malicious about his reactions in terms of fair use, not in terms of the reaction, but in terms of fair use law. You know, he would be suing those people if he cared about malice. But the laws have nothing to do with malice. You could be entirely good faith, entirely supportive, whatever. Does not matter. You still break fair use law. So Ethan, litigating this lawsuit just at what he claims to be bad actors, is bad because it hurts everyone, not just malicious actors. Litigating this law hurts everybody. Not just Denims, not just Frogan, not just Caseytron. It hurts everybody because the law of fair use, or the fair use law, whatever, the rules of it or whatever, nothing to do with malice. It hurts everybody. Not just malicious actors, not just bad faith actors, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. It hurts everybody, even if you're entirely fair. And the bad thing about this, right? We're never going to see someone like Turkey Tom, Internet Anarchist, Sunny V2, any of those creators, Wendigoon, all of these people. None of these people are ever going to use fair use law poorly. But if a precedent is set, right? If a precedent is set, you can litigate fair use law and you can win. The people, Queeman said this, and I entirely agree with him. I'm gonna fucking glaze him. Who cares? The people that are going to use this are not the big YouTubers, right? The people that are going to use this are going to use it so incredibly maliciously. Your Keffels, right? Your Keffels of the world, right? I don't have any other names on hand. I'm quite tired. But like you're insane people who are into silencing, right? Into silencing people. Keffels is someone who would 100% do a lawsuit if it's guaranteed that they would win, right? Keffels would 100% do a lawsuit to silence their critics. Dark Viper also. Dark Viper, 1000% Dark Viper. So yeah, this lawsuit is bad for everybody because it is going to allow malicious actors to use it to silence people, which is what Ethan himself is trying to do. He's trying to silence his critics. So yeah, lawsuit's bad. Lawsuit's bad. The lawsuit's justified. Ethan went through all the proper legal channels of doing it. As far as I understand, the lawsuit's justified, like legally speaking, but it's not something you should litigate on YouTube. It's going to fuck everyone over. Marsh Baby, I only think one of the people did that. One of the creators did that. And the other one, it was like a post on Reddit. And also, saying something is a market replacement does not make it a market replacement. So just because they said, watch this now, it's a market replacement, take away views from Ethan, does not mean that's actually happening. And furthermore, it does not matter in terms of malice, because again, malice has no place in the law, right? It doesn't matter if someone's acting in good or bad faith. So it doesn't matter if someone's trying to steal Ethan's views. It matters what is fair use. So saying something isn't fair use does not mean it automatically isn't fair use. There are like the 4 pillars of fair use content or whatever the fuck. Dude, Nate would shit his pants if he was here. Ethan, which is malicious. Yeah, it is malicious, but again, malice does not matter in the law of fair use. It does not matter if someone is malicious. You could have 2 exactly the same cases. One is malicious, one isn't. They're both going to go down the same way because malice does not matter in the law. Of fair use specifically. And other laws, sure, but in terms of fair use, malice literally means nothing. It does not do anything for you. It does not help you. It does not harm you. It is useless. It would make a good debate right now. I mean, I'd probably agree with Nate. The lawsuit is justified. Ethan is probably going to win. The lawsuit is justified. However, this is bad for everybody because malice has no part in this law. So even if you are a good faith reactor who is reacting justly to content, if this is a precedent that is set, you will be hurt by this. Even if you are a good reaction streamer, you are going to be hurt by this. It does not matter if you're a good one, because being good or bad has no place in fair use law. Okay, malicious intent or malice or whatever the fuck you want to call it does not matter in the law. What is Nate's take on epic fair use? There isn't a precedent being set. There is a precedent being set, but again, it's not a precedent for larger creators. It's a precedent for, people who want to act in bad faith and silence their critics, like Ethan. So people like Keffels, people like Dark Viper, right? When this precedent is set, we're never going to it's not going to be a bunch of random glup shitto channels just firing off lawsuits, because it's going to look bad. If you sue people on YouTube, it looks bad. It is a complete optics L, right? You're probably not going to see your Nicholas DeOrio doing a lawsuit, or your, fucking Hassan doing a lawsuit or whatever, right? You're probably going to just see a bunch of bad faith people do it. So again, people like Keffels. When I say a precedent is being set, it is as in a precedent for other people who want to do similar things as Ethan. Not just like doing a lawsuit on YouTube, right? It's I'm more specific than that. It is people who want to silence their critics and silence people, right? Like Ethan. So, for example, Isabella Janke, right? She tried to silence a bunch of the content around her. If something like this was passed, Isabella Janke could basically get a bunch of her, hypothetically, I don't know if, I don't know law, I don't know if this is possible or whatever, but just like a thought experiment, I guess. Isabella Janke could get a bunch of her content, a bunch of the things covering her, just like taken down, right? Obviously, that's an extreme example. None of that's like React content. That's not one-to-one, obviously. But like what this does, like, okay, Ethan made a video on Hassan and co, on Hassan and his friends, and then their friends responded to it live, and he is suing them. What Ethan is basically trying to do is create hit pieces where the victims of those hit pieces are not allowed to respond. That is bad. That is bad to do, I think. If I make a hit piece on someone, they should be able to respond. If someone makes a hit piece on me, I should be able to respond. All of that. There should not be like a power imbalance where, like, if I make a hit piece on someone, they're just silenced and they're not able to like publicly respond to it, right? I think. So again, it's not a precedent like everybody's gonna fucking throw out lawsuits the minute this suit is settled or whatever. Probably a precedent in terms of like specifically bad faith actors, which I don't know how many there are. I don't know how many bad faith actors there are just like gallivanting on fucking YouTube. I would assume there's not a lot, right? But just because there isn't a lot doesn't mean it's not bad, I think. Marsh Baby, the issue with that, I think, is because I don't care about bad reactions, right? The most Hassan, like 10K viewers are like watching Hassan. If you're watching a Hassan stream, you're probably not going to watch any of the fucking video essays he's reacting to, right? A better example would be like me, right? When I'm streaming and I'm reacting to like commentary shit, and then commentary viewers watch my stream, I am essentially making a market replacement, right? Because if people watch a commentary video on my stream, they're less likely to go out and watch that video themselves or that piece of content themselves or look into that piece of content themselves, right? I am essentially making like a market replacement. Oh, is a stream ending?
I'll be going live very soon, covering
Right.
the conflict, the war.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, you guys need to lay off Tommy C. He's a very nice old unk. Okay, you guys need to respect your elders more. He's a good guy.
Bro, I literally can't cover any more of the Tommy C stuff. It's like so boring and repetitive at this point. He is taking the knee off of his neck by just being too boring to choke to death. You know?
Damn, he owned you. He became too boring for you to cover. He won.
I didn't even
He needs to
attack this
change it up. We
motherfucker
can't
until he
do the,
started
the
mentioning
choke
me.
stuff endlessly.
I don't know why he started talking about me because I'm like
But their actions, okay. Everybody fucking overreacts with Hassan and his fucking orbiters. Hassan and his fucking orbiters are not that bad. They have not done fucking anything. Who gives a fuck? All of the criticisms that people have for Hassan are like bullshit too. I don't even like Hassan. I find Hassan fucking insufferable. But like a good majority of the shit they fucking say against this guy is just bullshit. Like what the fuck are his orbiters doing? Like it's so retarded. It's so meaningless. It's so utterly meaningless. I don't know. It's very exhausting for me. Yes. I don't know. Dude, fucking. Dude, the Hassan shit is so tiring. People are so just willing to lie and accept lies about Hassan because he's like popular to hate on. Again, I don't like Hassan. I'm not a big Hassan guy, okay? But it's actually ridiculous how normalized it is to just fucking lie about this guy.
You guys need to lay off Tommy C. He's nice. Okay,
Hey,
he's
when
nice.
you going live?
I'll be going live very soon, covering
Right.
the conflict, the war.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, you guys need to lay off Tommy C. He's a very nice old unk. Okay, you guys need to respect your elders more. He's a good guy.
Bro, I literally can't cover any more of the Tommy C stuff. It's like so boring and repetitive at this point. He is taking the knee off of his neck by just being too boring to choke to death. You know?
Damn, he owned you. He became too boring for you to cover. He won.
I didn't even
He's
attack this
changed up.
motherfucker until he started mentioning me.
Stuff endlessly.
I don't know why he started talking about me because I'm like I stream with Queenman. So
I feel like you don't really involve yourself in commentary drama that much, but like you get mentioned all the time as like because people just see you as like Queenman's like second in
people are
command or
mad.
something.
Yeah, people are mad at Queenman, and then they throw my name into shit. I just have to be
They're like,
here
it's
talking about
basically the
stuff.
same thing. I don't even know.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
that's fair.
fucked up.
Maybe that's a fair argument to make. I don't fucking know. Maybe you are.
I'm
the second in
nice to
command.
everybody all the time. I'm literally nice to all these people. When I'm not nice, I apologize and I say, hey, why don't we be friends again?
You know, here's my position on Spicy Chat. You know, I like them because they're very nice to me, but as soon as they become mean to me, which I know they will, because you guys are mean to all of my friends, as soon as you guys become mean to me, then I would become very afraid. But as of right now, they're very cool. I don't know. That's my position.
Oh, based. I don't see why people have to even.
God, I fucking hate Kick. Kick is so bad. Did he end? Oh, he's still going. We'll steal a little more.
He shields for Destiny. Turkey Tom, he shields for Destiny. You guys keep coming after all my friends. You guys gotta chill and bow down and accept the Cabal narrative on everything.
So true. Kiss the ring. Kiss
Exactly.
the Don's ring.
You guys gotta okay. You guys gotta understand. This is my closing statement. DeOrio always wins. Okay, every battle, DeOrio's always won. You guys gotta be careful.
Pick the right side every single time. Heard him
Yep,
say
he
so.
picks the right side. He picks the right side, and you know, I feel sorry for anyone that's on the other side. You know,
Not a good indication.
yeah, it's rough out there.
All right. I think I'm gonna rate our relevant guys. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Sigh.
Okay? Go say hi to Relly. And
Sigh.
we'll be back tomorrow.
All right.